Welcome in to Shmokin Hot Takes. We're one day away from football and one day away from watching the Chiefs dominate the league again. We're blasting through our top 32 team rankings, Super Bowl picks, MVP, and telling you who's winning their week one matchup. Also, our first special guest joins the pod. But you might already know who they are. You've tuned in to Shmokin Hot Takes. Smoking. Welcome into Shmokin Hot Takes, everybody. I'm Prof, and I got Coop.
Hey, yo.
And K-Do.
Hey.
Welcome in, fellas.
Hey there.
How we doing?
Doing great.
Football is around the corner.
I can't wait!
Yeah, I feel like preseason just kind of flew by.
Thank God.
Because
nothing was happening there.
Because I remember being in the thick of last year and just being sick of it all. Like, we're in the dregs of man, we got podcasts, we got 9 fantasy leagues to take part of, and 4 of them aren't even doing well. And then it ends, and then you start missing it, you can't wait until it comes back. And we're here, and it's like I'm rejuvenated again. I'm ready to be hurt. Y'all feel
Maybe we won't be getting hurt this year. I don't plan on getting hurt this year.
K-Dog is going to win every single fantasy league that he is
K-Dog,
except for any of the ones that I'm in with him.
Are you going to be able to keep your crown this year in the weekly pick'ems, you think?
We'll have to see. There's a little more competition this year.
Oh,
we'll
you heard that, huh?
Tell the people, K-Dog. Tell the people.
What's that?
What's happening? What's the pick'em?
Tell
them about it.
We got our pick'em league. I think I actually
Sleeper
counted today. Yeah, on Sleeper. I actually counted today. I think we have 10 total. So not too late.
And you can join in
the first game.
Yep. You can join in. Yes, I'm talking to you, listener. You could be in Malawi, you could be in Russia, you could be in Thailand, you could be in the Philippines. You could do it from anywhere. Join the Pick'em League.
Join us.
There's an amazing prize for first place.
Oh, we haven't even talked about that yet.
Hasn't been announced yet, but that's part of the fun. So, yeah. Coop, we just did a draft the other day on Saturday.
Well, you're going to have to be a little more specific. I did about 9 drafts the other day.
Okay, well, it was the one with my buddies from high school.
Okay, well, so we have a couple drafts,
and you did a. It's an interesting. K-Dog, this is to inform you too. This is interesting rules here. So it's a tight end premium league, meaning tight ends get an additional half a point per catch. And then also this league has, for every first down, 0.5 points that you would get. And then it's already half point PPR on top of that. And so Coop, who was what? You were 10th?
Yeah.
The 10th pick?
I was the 10th pick. That's right.
You took it hit round 3, and Coop took a very interesting strategy.
I took a gamble. So going into this, I think this league has actually been notoriously tight end premium for a while. And I've been kind of cooking this up in my mind for a minute, like whether I do this. Like I was even thinking about this last year. And I finally looked into it, and I was looking at the top 4 finishes for tight ends last year in PPR. Like wide receiver 7, like if equivalent it to the wide receiver position, wide receiver 7, wide receiver 8, wide receiver 8, up there, top 8 receivers. So I decided to take 3 tight ends back to back because it's tight end PPR versus everybody else's half PPR. So my first pick was Jonathan Taylor, and then I took Garrett Wilson, and then I went Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, and then 5th pick, Kyle Pitts. And I blew a lot of minds that day. I think everyone just started spamming the chat. I remember Prof's girlfriend was like, "Yo, Coop, are you okay? Like, you a stroke? What are you doing?" Another guy said, "Hey, I hope you either." I think this was Prof. He was like, "I hope you finish first or last." Just because it's a gamble. But the way I look at it is, I only picked either the number 1 option Mark Andrews or the number 2 option Kyle Pitts and McBride in that offense, and that's like picking, like, imagine Jordan Addison having PPR compared to Justin Jefferson only having half PPR. Obviously, there is going to be a volume discrepancy, but I feel like that difference in point per reception is going to make up for that. And just looking at where those guys fell, like who was around those people when I picked them, I just felt like that was the most obvious to make. Like, I mean, it's either Mark Andrews PPR or Chris Olave with Derek Carr half PPR. I think the obvious choice is going to be Mark Andrews, right?
Yeah, I mean, I that's interesting. I like the strategy, but I feel like the downside is that your 3 guys that you took have to be top tight ends, right? Otherwise, you wasted a pick.
Right.
So that's a gamble, but I like it though.
I kind of wish I had been a top 5 pick or so, because I could have gotten, maybe Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb fell to me or something, and then I could have gotten a Kelsey Laporta back. I think that would have been prime, but
Yeah.
I think with who I have, Jonathan Taylor and Garrett Wilson, and I was able to get those 3 tight ends. If they don't, like, I'm putting a lot of faith into Kyle Pitts, obviously, because of Kirk Cousins. I mean, this is the best year he's had with a quarterback. So there's a lot of faith you got to put into this, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to work out. We'll see.
Yeah, I liked your McBride pick, but then just my mind with Mark Andrews is he's a little fragile, so that scares me. And then Kyle Pitts hasn't really proven it yet, so that's another point that scares me. So
I grabbed Isaiah Likely.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I know you said McBride hasn't proved it, but I think he proved a hell of a lot in the last.
Pitts hasn't proven it. Pitts hasn't proven it.
Oh, Pitts. Okay, that's fair. But I think you got to be ahead of the game, which I think a lot of Pitts owners over the year have tried to be. But with Kirko, like, if this isn't the year, then I think Kyle Pitts should never play a down of football again.
All right, we'll save that. We'll save that quote for next year.
I'm also all in on Kyle Pitts in fantasy this year, so I'm with Coop. But if it doesn't pay off this year, yeah, it's just I will never.
Then
draft him again.
like,
I don't think anyone will. But then I might, because it'll fall a bunch. So I don't know. We'll see.
Coop, have you run your team in any analyzers or preseason rankings or anything like that? Have you seen what the bots think of it?
I threw that through Dynasty Daddy, and it was ranked 5th actually, so we're not bad.
Really? Wow. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, interesting.
No,
yeah, it'll be fun to watch how that plays out this season, because
someone was like, "Oh, he's using that for like trade capital." I'm like, do you even know me? I would never do something like that. This is this.
And it created such an interesting dynamic after that, because you caused a massive tight end run, and my thought was because my whole strategy with tight ends this year was just like, if I don't get a top 5 guy, I'm punting the position. I don't really care about about tight end that much. It is a tight end premium league, but still, like, if I can get an elite, or at least a great wide receiver 2 instead, like, of like a middling tight end, that's my thought. So
I hear you.
I ended up with Pat Fryermuth, which I think I was the very last person to take a tight end in that draft, and
I think that's actually, I mean, number 2 option. I feel like on the Steelers, not bad.
Yeah, and then I took Taysom. So who knows? Taysom could be crap.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch how that plays out. I think the majority of the league from gut reaction was thinking it's not going to work out, but it'd be cool to see if you
Right.
prove them wrong. Yeah, it'd be cool to see if
Hey,
you
yeah.
if you
I mean, maybe we'll keep
create a
the
run.
listeners updated a little bit.
It probably, if you pull it off, it could
Okay.
be one of the more legendary title runs, like or
Maybe,
memorable. I would say memorable.
It might be one of those things where people are gonna try to repeat it type of thing if it like actually works out. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. So as we mentioned in the intro, top 32 team rankings. We'll blast through the majority of it. We'll talk through the top 10 a little bit more. We're aggregating, similar to how we've done all of our positional rankings. So I got Coop and I got K Dog's rankings. I got my own. C Dubs is living his best life in another country, so he did not submit his rankings in today.
Living his life.
he's partying it up. He's having a great time.
That old man.
We wish we were there, but we didn't. We didn't take all the C Dubs bets, so we don't have nearly as much money as he does.
That's right. That's true.
Go blow on tequila in the clubs. You know what I'm saying? So
that's right. Yep.
Yeah, and then I guess last thing before we move in, make sure, like K Dog said, check out the Sleeper Pick'ems, and then drop a follow and leave us a review, 5-star rating on Spotify. I saw we got a new one. Whoever you are, shout out to you.
Oh no way! Let me look.
And bless you up, sir,
news.
or ma'am, or whoever you are. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, guys. Now top 32. I'm gonna start from the bottom. Move my way up. Can you guess what our bottom 3 teams were collectively?
Yes.
Coop, you can go on this
one. I think the bottom team is going to be the Patriots, obviously.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Yep. All of us ranked bottom.
Next one, I got to go Giants, I think.
Correct. You guys had them at 31. I had them at 30. But yeah.
So I feel like who I want to say might not necessarily be there, but I'm gonna say the Vikings just because I have them there.
Wow. K Dog, do you have a guess?
Vikings is a good guess. The only other one I would think of, Broncos.
Yeah.
Maybe?
So
or maybe Panthers. I don't know. I'll go Broncos.
Our 29 and 30th ranked teams were tied, actually, just by average.
Wow.
30 was the Saints.
Wow.
Which K Dog was the highest on at 26. I was low. I had him at 31. Coop had him at 29. And then right after, ranked at 29, is the Broncos. K Dog was the lowest on him, having him at 30.
Huh.
So
you guys,
moving forward. Oh, go ahead.
You guys think the Saints are going to be really bad then? So I don't know.
I don't think there's much surprise to that. Honestly, I think if C-Dubs had his rankings, he'd put him at 31 too. Like C-Dubs been talking mad.
Dennis Allen with a burning passion. All right.
I've heard. Yeah.
He is awful.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like they're always decent, no matter what. Like
I think they're like.
I kind of thought I had them underrated at 26. Like they're such a boring team.
Yeah,
I mean, they just don't have anything. Like, what do they have? Maybe like a semi-decent secondary, a semi-decent defense.
If they had, I mean, it's Derek Carr, Amari, whatever's Kamara,
Super Mario, Elvin Kamara.
and Chris Olave. That's not a bad offense, I don't think. I think Carr doesn't do anything to benefit them really, but you would think that's not terrible.
Well,
so it's interesting. I don't know.
To quote the great C-Dubs, Derek Carr is a check down merchant. So
true.
That's all he can offer.
I love that. That's why it's a great coinage, I think. That's
why I have him so low. Yeah. All right. Moving forward, 28, we have the Vikings.
Okay.
Myself and K-Dog had him at 27, Coop at 30. And then 27, we have the Titans. I'm the lowest at 29. Coop had him at 23.
You guys are sleeping, man. Like, yeah. I understand. Look, I'm not gonna. I feel like I'm a realist at the end of the day, and I can understand how you guys think I'm inflated when it comes to them. But I think their offense has totally changed, and the people that you guys have over them, the Panthers, the Commanders, Raiders, Steelers, like that's who I all under them. I don't know how you can justify to have them over the Titans.
Because if we call Derek Carr a check down merchant, then Will Levis is the antithesis of Derek Carr. He's just a
I
deep
get
bomb
it.
merchant
No, see, look,
with
I
a
get
bad
it.
O line, so he doesn't even have time to get
They don't
wide
look. They
receivers
don't have a
space.
battle. It's so you guys are under the impression that they're the same team as last year, which I think is fair to assume. But so much has changed that I think you got to give them a fighting chance to be a little bit better than they were last year. Because
Dude, I'll bump him up.
the only thing they've done this offseason is get better to me. You know, they improved their O line, they improved their O line coach, they improved their OC. Well, some could argue that, but they're going in a completely different direction than what they've done. So I don't know. I'm more optimistic. I can see why you guys are pessimistic. So
Do you have
see how
Brian?
how it
Do you have
comes
Brian
out.
Callahan's phone number?
I might. I just might. We text on
Okay.
the daily.
Well, all right. Well, let's see if you can get him on the pod and he can come defend his team. Tell us how they've improved.
All right.
26, we got the Panthers. I have them at 24. I'm the highest on them.
I like
K-Dog's,
it, but I think
K-Dog's
that's
got them
next
at 29. It's a spicy take, but I did bump up the Panthers to second in the division of the NFC South. So it would be.
I want them to succeed, but
although that doesn't make sense because I have the Bucks ranked higher, just barely, but it doesn't. Whatever.
Oh, hey, it's football, man. Any given Sunday, you know.
Yeah. 25. We were very even on the Commanders. Coop had him at 26. K-Dog and I had him at 25.
It's a good spot.
24, we have the Raiders. I was the lowest. I had him at 26. K-Dog's the highest at 23.
I'm kind of
Chargers,
surprised you're lower, because I feel like you were always a Minshew guy. I don't know.
I was talking up the Raiders, and I actually think their defense is great. But I don't know. I was just looking through these other teams. I was like, all these other teams are better than the Raiders, and I like Minshew, but he's not a winner at the end of the day. I'm gonna put up 20 points, and we're still gonna lose.
Fair.
So
23. I feel like the middle teams are really hard to rank in this. Like, there's a few really good teams, few really bad teams, and there's a lot of teams in the middle.
Yeah. 23, we had the Chargers. This is another one we were all very even on. K-Dog and Coop had him at 22. I had him at 23.
Nice.
And yeah, I think that's a great spot for them. We had the Bucks next at 22. Again, very even. Coop at 21, myself at 22, K-Dog at 19. So yeah, pretty even there.
I give respect to last season. And we all think they're going to regress, but I'll give them a little bit of respect.
Yeah, I think they were playing out their ceiling. I mean, to make up, like, okay, you think of this Bucks team and to say they were in the second round of the playoffs, you know, that's kind of crazy to me.
I think it goes to show Dave Canales. I think he's a beast.
They were overachieving a little bit.
Maybe Dave Canales is a ceiling raiser, and maybe that's why the Panthers will be better this year.
There you go.
And also, I feel like the Bucks are constantly just underrated a little bit. Like I don't think Baker Mayfield still gets his credit for actually being a semi decent quarterback. I know I'm a Baker glazer, but like he's like a middle of the road quarterback, and there's a lot to be said compared to some of the other quarterbacks that are currently starters in the league.
I mean, you could say last year with them losing in the divisional, you could say what? Then they're at worst the 8th best team in the league last year, and now we have it at like 20.
Yeah.
So not that we any of us really think they were the 8th best team, but like that's quite a fall. We might be sleeping on them a little bit.
I think it sticks out though because of the divisions. I mean, that's just saying every divisional winner is automatically an 8th best team. You know what I mean? Because there's 8 divisions, right?
Yeah.
So whoever comes out of the NFC South, like none of us think they're better than the Bengals if they're not the divisional winner of the.
That's fair. That's fair. But they did win a playoff game though. And they were pretty close against the Lions. So
there's also something to be said about like good matchups too. Like certain teams, like we could have a 15 to 18 ranked team go up against like a 8 to 10 ranked team, and honestly, like you could say 40% of the time that team like that's ranked 15 and 18 could win. And also like just
Mhm.
because certain teams stack up better against others, right? Like it's just that's just how football is and how
Yeah, I
it
think
looks
if
in
you're
like
within
Coop said earlier, any given day. So
yeah, within like 10 rankings, honestly, I think it's kind of like the sweet spot.
yeah. Okay. Cardinals we got at 21 next. K-Dog at 20 had him at 24. He was the lowest. Coop had him at
Wow.
17. So and then I was smack in the middle at 21. So a little bit of division there. Not too
I think it's
much.
fair.
And then
I think when it comes to teams like these, it's like some people are a little more optimistic. Like for me, why I'm at 17, I just like this offense. I know C-Dubs hates their defense, so which
yeah,
completely makes sense. But
which is why they're a
I'm more
gold
on the
mine for
optimistic
fantasy.
side. Yeah, right. Um, so it's just kind of like telling about who, our personalities, I feel like, in a way.
Yeah, and I think this next team is a very similar story. We have the 20 or at 20 we have the Steelers, and Coop's got him at 24, K-Dog's at 20, and I have him at 17. And I have him high because I really like their defense. And I think they can
Yeah.
they have Mike Tomlin's a ceiling raiser, or floor raiser. This team is always good, and I actually think Russ will be okay on this team. I think him
Yeah,
and
I
Pickens
think they've
is
only
going to be a
gotten
nice
better.
connection. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think.
Colts at 19. This was super even too. Coop and I were the highest at 19 on the dot. K-Dog was at 21.
I would love to see C-Dub's rank on this. I bet he would have him like 15 something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been
I know it's
talking.
too.
Well, even though he hates A-Rich, so
Yeah, I don't. Well,
it's he kind
I
of
feel like he's very
contradicts himself a little bit.
contradictory. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because if you listen to C-Dub's locks the other day, like they're over under, but he would just get into, A-Rich. We don't really know what we're seeing with him. But I think another thing you kind of point out is, hey, they have Joe Flacco though, and we saw what he did with the Browns, and I think it almost elevates them even further if Flacco was able to come in and be that guy. I feel like it's a very safe pick almost with the Colts because of that, in a way, because you have the upside of A-Rich, but you have the safety of Joe Flacco.
Yeah, but I don't. So I was thinking about this earlier. Joe Flacco could kind of just go nuts when he was on the Browns last year because of how good that defense was. So if he threw a pick,
Yeah,
so be
solid.
it. The defense was good enough where they could get a stop or two to cover for the picks. Because Joe Flacco was essentially Jameis Winston, 5 years ago
Right.
when he went 30 and 30. That was basically Joe Flacco. And the problem with that Jameis Winston Buccaneers team was they didn't have that nearly as good of a defense as the Browns did. So, and I think it's safe to say, and tell me if you disagree, but I don't think the Colts defense this year is going to be nearly as good as the Browns was last year. So, all that being said, Joe Flacco maybe needs to play a little more careful. And also, I guess just add on to that, I don't think Joe Flacco will be playing as large of a position if he were to come on as quarterback because they have Johnny Taylor. He probably becomes the main
Right.
focus of the offense.
So that's I guess that was gonna be my little counterpoint is their offensive line is like top 5. Jonathan Taylor, top 5 back. So maybe you wouldn't see if this is like all theoreticals if Joe Flacco ends up coming in, but you wouldn't see him.
Yeah,
You wouldn't see him slinging the ball so much. They would rely on Jonathan Taylor and maybe by cutting down the attempts that Joe Flacco's throwing, then you wouldn't see as many turnovers. But let's say, you know what? Let's just see what A-Rich does. I don't want to like project any of these injuries here.
All right. We got 18. We got the Bears. Coop and I both had them at 18.
Yeah.
K-Dog at 16.
So, okay, that's pretty high, K-Dog. I actually moved these guys up after the preseason.
I mean,
Ooh, that's tough.
A difference of 2 spots. I would not say mine is very high, but I don't know.
Well, so I had them at like 20,
I just
21, 22, like area.
okay.
But,
I mean, I just feel like they have more potential than some of these other teams, like the Steelers, Colts. Like I kind of see a ceiling for them, whereas the Bears are a little bit of an unknown. So that's why I had them a little higher.
The Bears have a legit defense, though. Like I know we always talk about the offensive weapons because they have a million of them, but their defense is actually pretty damn okay. They played well last year at the end of the season, and there's a very real world where like the defense is actually the shining focus, and it's still like they're picking up for Caleb, who's still trying to, shake off the first year rust, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we shouldn't forget the Bears. They were pretty good like second half of last season.
Yeah, for sure.
They're coming in with a lot. Obviously Caleb Williams and more weapons on top of that. They could be really good this year.
I mean, they won some games with Tyson Bagent, so
yeah.
I mean, if you can do that,
yeah. I think for me, I think the Bears are kind of one of the teams to really watch because of how highly projected they are to do well and how little faith I have in Caleb Williams. So this is more of like a personal team to watch. That's kind of why I have them almost smack dab in the middle because I don't know where to put them yet. I was low on Caleb. I don't know if he can handle the NFL, not gonna lie, just his mentality. But from what I saw, this is like almost a Hard Knocks like elevation. I feel like it always happens. Last year with the Jets, and I like what I saw from him, and especially during preseason. I think he's probably one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the league. It's just, is he going to be able to handle pressure? I don't know yet. So that's why I got him at 18. But like, I'm almost excited to be able to move them up. But I wouldn't be surprised if I moved them down. I don't know.
They just named Caleb Williams one of the captains too of the team, which I think
kind of up to how he does. I think he is so like he's surrounded by so many weapons, and he's in a position to succeed. So it's kind of up to him right now.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got an easy. I was just gonna say he's got an easy game against the Titans coming up, so you can't ask for much more.
All right, how is he gonna feel when he loses against the Titans? I don't know.
Oh, that's gonna, dude. I'm bumping him down.
Man.
30.
I don't
We're going straight to 30 if that
happens, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, we'll talk.
That might be my my one pick in the survivor pool. We'll see.
Ooh.
Number 17, we got the Jaguars. K-Dog's the highest at 15. I'm at the bottom at 20. I mean, I'm not a big Jaguars guy. I think this team's gonna be booty.
I think everybody always wants them to do really well. I think because
I do. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence was touted as his generational second coming of Peyton Manning type. So to see him not live up to that in his first 3 years is really disappointing. And I don't know. It's just watching it in preseason. I feel like he is his projection. Obviously, like I think he's him this year in a way. And I think C-Dub said that last year. I think he had Trevor Lawrence as MVP last year, but like I don't know, man.
I think that was K-Dog.
Was it K-Dog?
Yeah, that was. I hate to say it, but yes,
okay.
that
was K-Dog. But I don't know, man.
I was just gonna let that one
different about him. There seems something a little different about him, and I didn't realize he was 6'5", by the way. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, he's about my height.
I never really thought about it.
He does not feel that tall, but I don't know.
Have you stood by him before?
No, but when I look at him, he doesn't look like a.
I mean, that's because everyone on the damn field's like 6'3" and over.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone's huge out there. All right, number 16. Just missing the top 15. We got the Seahawks. K-Dog, unsurprisingly, is the lowest on them.
K-Dog, what the hell, man?
He's got him at 17. This is actually pretty even. This is pretty even. Coop's got him at 14. I have him at 15. So actually quite even across the board.
Okay, that's pretty fair, yeah.
Well,
nothing egregious there.
We'll talk a lot about the Hawks later, so I think we can.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can skip that one. So this next one, top 15, we have the Browns, which Coop had them the lowest at 20. I had them at 8. K-Dog had them at 18. So I am way hotter on the Browns than you guys are. I'll be curious to hear why you guys don't like them as much, because I thought they were a pretty damn good team to end, or like last season with Joe Flacco. Like I don't think the defense changed all that much, and I think we had him in the top 10 for a good part of the season. I honestly think Flacco is a better quarterback than Deshaun because I think Watson just lost it ever since his scandal, and he's not going to get it back. Not to say though, I think the defense is enough to carry this team, and I also think once they get Chubby back, like he becomes the focus.
Okay, so first off, you said they were really good with Flacco. Well, where's Flacco now with the Colts?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I know, but you know what?
Once
You
they
know who
get
else?
Chubby back, what?
Well, hold on. Go ahead.
I was gonna say once they get Chubby back, this guy literally for the ACL, MCL, LCL, SCL, VCL, like this guy's knee was destroyed. The same knee that he had destroyed in college. As much as we all love Chubb, I know we all think he's probably our favorite running back in the league, like pure rusher. We've always talked highly of this guy. But to say once he comes back, he's not going to be the same guy. So my projection is that they're going to be relying a lot on Jerome Ford and a lot on Deontay Foreman. So to say that this is the same team we saw last year, I don't. To be fair,
towards the end
Nick
of the
Chubb was
season,
gone
though.
most of the year.
Yeah, towards the end of the season, right? Yeah,
But
I honestly don't think. I know we don't like to project injuries. Actually, I kind of like to project injuries. I don't like to project injuries, but I think you can project injuries more.
You take account.
So I don't think Deshaun's making it through this season. Like that dude gets touched and he starts whining and crying and.
Am I about to hear what I think I'm about to hear?
I'm not calling for DTR again.
No,
I'm not.
I'm calling for
Jameis, baby.
I mean,
I think one of my Shmokin Hot Takes last season was that DTR was going to take the starting job from Watson, which I wasn't far off on. I wasn't far off on. It was injury that caused it. And then Flacco. I didn't even know Flacco was on the team at that point. But I totally see a world where Jameis Winston comes in and does a Flacco light like last year.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking today, and I was surprised by this. I mean, in 2 years in Cleveland, Deshaun Watson's only played 12 games. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I would have thought he'd played more than that. They are 8-4 in those games, though. But I don't know. For me, having the Browns lower, I just feel like of course, like last year was a great year for them with that defense. But I just feel like in the NFL, it's hard to maintain that year over year. Not that, I mean, I still think their defense is going to be good, but is it going to be number one in the NFL that's going to carry them to those wins? I'm not so sure about that. And I'm just not a believer in Deshaun. I mean, there's nothing on that offense that really scares you. We'll see about Chubb. I'm not going to write him off. He's on my fantasy team, but we'll see when he comes back what that's like. I don't know. I just feel like they're bound to regress, kind of like how I feel about the Colts or those type of teams.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on. 14, we got the Rams. Pretty even on this one. I'm the lowest at 16. K-Dog's got him at 12. He's bumping him up a little bit. K-Dog, you want to give a quick spiel on the Rams?
I mean, I feel like they're like everybody's sleeper team this year. I've seen like people talking about them. I mean, obviously they were a sleeper team last year. I'm just not convinced about Matt Stafford staying healthy and being able to perform at what we're used to seeing him as. It's been a long time since he's done that. He's getting older, and that's the reason I have them lower. Otherwise, I think they're a very good team. Probably top 10. I just don't really trust Stafford.
There's a world in which I know I'll put the Rams in my top 10. I always do.
I don't know. I just feel like everyone was so caught off guard by them last year that they're automatically like, oh, I want this team to be my sleeper team. Like they should have been y'all's sleeper team last year.
Right.
I did. Yeah. I did call them out last year and said I think pretty early on that I said they were better than we initially thought.
You're missing one of the best defensive linemen in the history of the game.
You're right.
Yep. You're counting on a generational like season from a rookie to do that again in Puka Nacua. So there's a lot of things you're kind of counting on for this team to come back to the playoffs that I just Don't
We're
know
also
if it's gonna
counting
happen.
on a more healthy Cooper Cup throughout the season too,
And you're also
which
counting on a
is
Seahawks
hard.
team that's not going to be that good, aren't you?
Well,
I definitely.
I have the Hawks higher than the Rams by one spot.
Oh wow.
I know.
I
but
would definitely.
And so do you,
take
Coop.
the
You
Rams.
do too.
That's what I was saying.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that, guys.
I mean, it's
I
one
would
spot.
definitely say the Rams are a playoff team this year, but I just don't see them. It's really necessarily getting far in the playoffs. Definitely not winning the division. I've seen some people picking the Rams over the 49ers, and I just don't get that.
No way. But what I'm asking is, do you see them making the same run as last year? Like the
I mean,
same
I see it
exact.
as. I mean, by run, I mean they lost in the wild card round. You know, they
But
didn't. They were a
but
surprise, but
yes, but like, do you see them
I
making that exact run, or better, or worse? Like,
I see them as somewhat similar. So I think
I see.
that's why I have the
Yeah,
12 or
yeah.
whatever.
I got their ceiling as a wild card team. Yeah, I
I
agree.
mean, they could definitely win a playoff game, but like I don't see them going to the championship game.
okay, so they're gonna repeat what they did last year, and I just think the people around them have gotten a little bit better. The Seahawks are not the same team they were last year. Last year they were
Right.
dog shit. So I
Yeah,
think it's
the
people
division's gotten
in
better
that
for
division.
sure. Yeah.
Regardless.
All right,
We'll see.
13. We got the Falcons. We were very even on this one. Coop and I had them at 12. K-Dog at 14. I think this is a fair ranking for them. Still a little unproven. I think some people might have them in the top 10 if they really wanted, just with all the offensive
absolutely.
changes, with head coach upgrades. But for me, like, if the Falcons come out week 1, who are they playing?
They play the
Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Yep.
Yeah, if they come out and body the Steelers, which I love that the NFL decided to do Falcons versus Arthur Smith. I don't think anyone's really talked about
that's pretty
that.
awesome, actually.
That's kind of funny. If the Falcons come out and body the Steelers, I will happily move them into the top 10. But I don't think that's a given.
Yeah, I think
it's also I think it's at it's in Atlanta.
Is it? I think this is another team where it's all projection, obviously, because they had something called Desmond Ridder as their quarterback last year. They had Arthur Smith as their head coach. Like, this is 100% projection. We've never seen it from them in a long time. So as soon as Kirk Cousins gets into that offense, it's going to be really telling of what they can be. They might go and play the Steelers and get shut out, and then we're like, whoa, this is the exact opposite of what we were gonna see. So it's just like hey, what are we gonna see out of this? The first game is gonna be very telling, I guess, what I'm trying to get to.
For sure, I completely agree. Number 12, we got the Dolphins. So Coop and K-Dog had them at 13, I had them at 11. So pretty even on that. I think that's a fair ranking. I think this is a similar case to the Falcons. Honestly, like 11 through, I would even say 15, if they come out week 1 and have a great game, I could see any of us bumping like these teams into the top 10. I think the Dolphins for us, like Coop, K-Dog, I don't know how much you despise. I don't know if you despise Tua as much as Coop does. I don't think you do. But
I mean, I have nothing against him. I do not despise him like Coop, but at the same time, like I'm not a big believer in him either. I just feel like the Dolphins, we know what they are. They're good, but they're not good enough to beat the top teams in the league, and nothing's really changed.
Yeah, they lost a lot of defensive pieces this offseason too, which is concerning.
And I would kind of expect them to. They're not going to get like. Remember last year? I mean, at the start of the year, they got off to a really hot start on offense, breaking records. I mean, scoring 70 points in one game. They're not going to do that again. So they might win.
Why not though? I could see that.
I don't know. I
think it's a very potential reality for the Dolphins.
I just think it's kind of an anomaly. I just don't see how they could repeat that. But we'll see. I mean, they do still have the pieces on offense, I guess. But yeah, I just don't see it happening.
I mean, winning by scoring 70 doesn't really matter, right? Because at the end of the day, you can win by 50, and you can win by 3, and it's the same outcome in the standings. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Yeah. Number 11, we got the Jets. Coop's the highest at 10. I'm the lowest at 14. I have some concerns about their offense and how ready Rodgers will be, Not enough to bump them lower than 14. I think that's a respectable ranking. It's right above the Hawks, so I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's
Defense is
all
fantastic.
kind of like what I was saying with the Falcons, right? I think it's a very comparable team, the Jets and the Falcons. Like there's all the pieces, but it's their quarterback that is the question mark. And coming off very similar injury, it's all about Kirk or Aaron Rodgers. So we gotta see how they come and play week 1. You know.
I saw an interesting link on Reddit. I think it was today or yesterday on the NFL subreddit. And it's something to the extent of the guy who tore or tackled Aaron Rodgers when he tore his Achilles. I think his name was Leonard Williams. He is now on the Niners and will be playing against Aaron Rodgers week 1.
Oh no,
again.
dude, really?
God.
So Aaron Rodgers, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your Achilles. Because Leonard Williams is coming. I think his name was Leonard Williams. I'm not sure.
Well, Leonard Williams is on the Hawks.
Okay, then I'm thinking of somebody. It's Leonard something. It might be, or maybe he's got a twin, also named Leonard Williams.
Huh.
All right, you guys ready for the top 10?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Who do you guys think is our 10th ranked team?
Cowboys.
K-Dog?
Gosh, I don't know. I'll say Eagles, I guess.
Closer than the Cowboys. Actually, you guys are both pretty close. Number 10, we got the Bills.
Really?
I'm the lowest at 13. K-Dog's got him at 9. Coop, you're smack in the middle at 11. Which,
yeah. Look,
we've been pretty even throughout this whole ranking. I mean, 13, my rationale is I think they're going to be a great, I think they're still going to be a reasonable, like, good team. Like, I expect to see a lot more usage of James Cook. I expect to see a lot of Khalil Shakir.
Oh, Kashir, Khalil. What are we going to say there, huh?
And the one side I don't really know a lot about, the defense, I don't know how that's going to shake out. I don't expect anything great personally. And then Josh Allen's going to do Josh Allen things, right?
Yeah.
He's a crackhead.
I don't follow this team very much, really. The way I looked at it when I was doing fantasy, I think is probably my mindset is like I think Josh Allen's going to try to do it all. We're going to see a lot of rushing from him, a lot of forcing the ball to certain people. We don't really know who their number 1 is right now. You know, it could be Dalton Kincaid, it could be Shakir, it could be Curtis Samuel, it could be Keon Coleman. I don't know.
We don't know. This will be a fun team to watch.
Yeah, it's just super exciting going into week 1, trying to kind of suss out what the rest of the year or season will look like based off this.
For sure.
If they lose the Cardinals, you know, what do we do then? I do like them losing the Cardinals. We might talk about that a little bit later. In fact, we will talk about that a little bit later. What do we do then, you know? Like, what's going to happen?
Then we fade them. Or maybe that's more to be said about the Cardinals.
Last year, they were stanky, were they not?
They were awful at the start of the season. Yeah, they were still stanky.
You know,
I don't got the bad vibes.
But
you know what?
You don't have.
I'm not noticing another stench on another team. I'm not smelling it. I think I actually am smelling flowers from that team. So we'll get to that though. Number 9, Eagles. I have them right at 9. Coop has got him at 6. He's the highest. K-Dog's got him at.
I wonder why.
At 10.
Coop, you want to go on this one?
Come on. How many times do I gotta talk about Keenan Allen? Kellen Moore. Wow. Kellen Moore coached Keenan Allen. I like what the changes have been in the off season. You know, we're one season removed from their Super Bowl year, right? And we saw what happens when you lose your best, you know, the best OC, one of the best OCs and the best DCs, and then your team kind of goes to shambles, and your star quarterback doesn't like your head coach. I don't know. There was so much.
You lose your star center.
You lose.
I guess that just happened this year. Yeah.
You know, there was so much stank last year. They started off hot, and then they kind of finish in mediocrity, losing to the Buccaneers in the playoffs there. I think they have a lot of reason to bounce back and a lot of reason why they should with the new OC, Saquon Barkley. It's going to be a lot more creative this year. I think the defense was a complete ass last year. Secondary was awful. You can only get better, I think, on their defense. So I see a little bounce back. I like them.
I mean, for me, I just can't ignore what happened to them last year. I mean, they were broken at the end of last year. I'm looking right now. They finished 1-6 in their last 7 games, including that playoff game. And to me, it's like, yeah, on paper, I mean, they have a bunch of big names. They should be good, but like until I see that again, I don't want to rank them higher than 10. I mean, they lost last year and keep in mind, this is with the division on the line. If they win any one of these games, they win the division. They lost to the Cardinals. They lost to the Giants the last week of the season. I mean, it's just.
And don't forget, they lost to the Drew Lock led Seahawks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I wasn't gonna include them. I didn't want to insult you guys, but I mean, losing to the Cardinals and the Giants, and then of course the Buccaneers in the playoffs. It's just. I mean, I can't just ignore that. And Jalen Hurts looked a lot worse last year than he did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I just can't put him higher.
I think
I don't want him to be good either. So I guess that's
for sure. I agree. As a Cowboys fan myself, if I had to put a stank on any team, it'd be the Eagles or the Jets, personally for me. So like, if I have to assign a poop smell each year, like if we want to go throwback to like episode 1, season 1 of Shmokin Hot Takes, like the coop poop thing, I'm putting the coop poop on the Eagles and the Jets this year.
That surprises me.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
I think those are 2 good picks. Although
but to be fair, that's media. That's media bias a little bit. I'll give you one for next week. I'll come back with another smelly. I don't know. Come up with a better name.
Smelly J. What are they feeding you?
Okay. Speaking of smelly, at number 8 we got the Cowboys. Just inching out the Eagles.
Come on.
And
I like that.
Coop was the lowest at 9. K-Dog at 8.
See,
Prof at 5.
Oh wow.
Who? You had him at 5?
Me, I got him at 5.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Come on.
I like the team. I like
Why?
what they're doing over there.
Name 3
because I think
people
it's the
on
same.
defense.
I think it's the same team. And I think, other than Darren Bland, which is a bummer, but all that guy was good for was getting pick sixes, which is not a skill. That
he
is
scored his like
repeatable.
30
Talking
points.
about
Come
that guy
on.
had like 30 pick sixes.
He also
He had,
led
like,
the league in interception. He had like 9 interceptions too.
You know what's crazy? He had 3 times as many touchdowns as Drake London last year. Isn't that nuts?
All right.
I just want. I mean, I
But, like, how you
appreciate the
feeling?
optimism.
Yeah, how you
I
feeling?
mean,
about
for me,
the
it's
Cowboys?
like I think quietly they've actually changed quite a bit. Maybe not their star players, but I mean they have a brand new defense. Their defensive line has changed quite a bit. They have their linebackers are all new. Their offensive line has changed quite a bit. I was actually looking today. It looks like they're going to start 4 rookies on Sunday. So I mean, it's like
Wow.
I think there's a lot of
what positions?
two on the offensive line, 1 linebacker, and cornerback since playing.
That O line is actually kind of spooky.
Yeah, so I mean, like there's just a lot of question marks there. And I mean, of course, as a fan, you always look at the new players as like best case scenario. You're like, oh my god, all these guys are going to be great, you know. But like realistically, it's kind of hard to make a case that they're better than they were last year. And of course, the run game too. It's just not that it was very good last year, but I mean that looks like kind of a mess too. So
Wait,
I don't know.
Wait. Don't they have the Ohio State running back that was like really good? I'm kind of blanking on the name.
Yeah, they also have is it the Florida State running back they just picked up?
Oh really dear God, we don't want to talk about Florida State right now. Dude.
Oh, dude, I would love to talk about Florida State because they've been killing me. I've been laughing.
You've been putting bets on them or something?
No, hell no. I just think it's hilarious how a top 10 team has already lost 2 games.
Were they top 10?
They were 10 yesterday, and that was before they lost last week.
After they lost last week?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Which I don't think they did an updated rankings. So
Okay. Yeah, because I
they
saw
were
somewhere
10.
like it was on Reddit. It was like Florida State's the top or the first like top 25 team to lose 2 games in the first week of football.
Huh.
Dude, they got blown out by Boston College. That was not even a close game.
Yeah,
That
sad.
was
I mean,
yeah.
Doug Flutie must have been cooking back there at quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our former Oregon State brethren from the Pac-12 is not looking too good. Anywho, K-Dog, please go back to the Cowboys.
I mean that's all I had to say. I mean, it's just like it's gonna be interesting with all the new pieces, but it's hard to make a case that they're better. So I feel like 8 is fair, and they might be worse. Honestly, we'll see. I mean, the NFC
Like
East
9.
has never had a repeat or hasn't had a repeat winner for like 20 years, so history would show the Eagles should be higher. But
I mean,
we'll
it's going to be the boys or the Eagles this year, so we'll see which one.
yeah. Although I think the
Yep.
Commanders might be a little better than we think they are, but probably not good enough to
No.
compete for the division lead though.
Okay. All right, number 7. We got the Bengals. Coop had him at 7. K-Dog and I had him at 6. We're calling for a bounce back. The health of
spot.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, I think we're all pretty even on that. It's a good spot. It reflects a easy schedule this year in a tough division, though. And you know what could really screw this up, though, this ranking, is if Jamar Chase just says, I'm not playing football this year, or I'm not playing until you guys give me a deal.
What do y'all think? Y'all think he's going to be playing week 1?
I feel like it's like 50-50. I mean, he's definitely going to be back this year, of course, but I don't know. There's not much time left. I heard he probably has 2 days.
Yeah, I don't think they're paying him right away.
I think this stuff is so ridiculous, man. This guy's already a multi-millionaire, and he's really gonna sit out playing he's gonna sit out from playing the game that he's loved and grown up loving for his whole life because of some money that he doesn't need. Come on, man. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Become
I
a
mean,
legend, bro. Like play for nothing and be a legend. That's my take on it. You already have 150 mil in the bank. This guy's ridiculous.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Agreed, Coop.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? I think he should sit out. All right. No, I don't care enough.
Well, if you're a T. Higgins owner like I am,
Dude, I
great.
really wanted to pick up T. T was a sneaky good pickup this year, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think he got talked about enough.
I didn't pick him up like I knew this was gonna happen, so I can't be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. But it ended up working out, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess it just depends on when your drafts were.
That's true.
All right, we're cracking the top 6. We got at 6. We got the Packers.
Wow.
So Coop had him at 8. I was the lowest with the Packers at 4.
You mean the highest?
Yeah, highest. Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
4?
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep the momentum that they had last year.
Better than the Lions? Are you crazy?
You don't know where I got the Lions ranked.
I don't know where you have the Lions, but I'm assuming it's better than the Lions.
I'll tell you what, it ain't better than the Lions.
That it's just, man, we're banking so much on Jordan Love to have. I know he just got the bag, which you like to bring up all the time when you say quarterbacks are gonna be shitty. He just got the bag.
I mean, I don't understand why we can't, like, if we are projecting the Texans to be another great team this year after a great rookie year from CJ Stroud, what's wrong with saying the same thing for the Packers, who honestly the makeup is, I want to say, semi-similar with supposedly 3 good wide receivers. I don't think they're at the tier of the Texans, but they're good. And that Packers defense ain't bad, man. Like, I would say maybe better than the Texans. So
You're right.
I think there's a world where, I guess, and I keep wanting to call Jordan Love a rookie. Obviously, he's not a rookie,
right?
But he essentially is a rookie, right? It was like his first full season playing football, So I mean, there's a world in my mind that it's very real that if we're okay to rank the Texans the top 5 team, then why not the Packers? Packers had a deeper run. They had a deeper run last year.
Yeah, I don't. I think you had a valid point, but I don't know. I think it's that wide receiver room is the big deal for me. Just because you have like 5 guys there. Like every day, if you're keeping up with the Reddit hive mind, every day someone's posting a new thing of like, who should I take from the Green Bay Packers? It's like, I don't know. You only have 3 guys in the Texans. You got Dell, who I'm highest on, Collins, and Diggs. You know, so
You say you're highest on Dell?
I am, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I haven't heard you say that before. I'm actually surprised by that. Anyways, sorry, go ahead, K-Dog.
I feel like Packers, Texans. It's just take your pick. I mean, they are 2 very similar teams, young teams. I would lean towards the Texans too, but you know, I mean, the Packers could very well be ahead of them this year. I think we can all see that happening.
Also, I do think that I think CJ Stroud is a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I think CJ Stroud was more consistent last year, but Jordan Love caught fire towards the end of the season.
I don't think
was a top, like, you could argue to say he was like a top 5 quarterback towards playing like a top 5 quarterback at the end of the season. I'm not saying he is currently.
Think that CJ Stroud makes that throw over the middle to end the game in that playoff game. Like Jordan Love.
I think the only person that makes that throw is like Patrick Mahomes.
What I'm saying is that was a terrible decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think
CJ you're saying he doesn't even attempt it.
No, he doesn't, because he understands that he shouldn't. In when all he needs to do is get a first down, and he goes completely across his body 40 yards away over the middle of the field to throw an interception. Like, I just think because CJ Stroud's a rookie and he's already shown how capable he is. I honestly, it's like you gotta kind of say Jordan Love's a rookie. I think because this is his first season, and if you were to say, okay, first season versus first season, I just think CJ Stroud's like just better, more matured in that sense.
You know why CJ Stroud wouldn't make that throw down the middle?
Come on,
because his team didn't even get to that round in the first place.
Right, come on, they're playing the Ravens, bro. Like,
yeah, and guess what? The Packers are playing. Sorry, K-Dog. The Cowboys first round, who wasn't a slouch by any means. So,
well,
although was it a 50? Was it a 50 burger?
No.
To be fair,
wasn't it a 50 burger on you guys?
I feel like it's like a 47, 48.
To be fair, historically, the Cowboys are pretty easy to beat in the playoffs.
Yeah. Fair.
I want to go back and look at this. I can't find it, unfortunately. Not at the moment. All right, let's blast through this top 5. Although you guys might want to talk about this next one for a while. Number 5, we got the Ravens, and that's largely due to my ranking at 10 for the Ravens.
Dog.
Coop's got him at 3. K-Dog's got him right in the middle at 5.
At 10?
Yeah, dude, I genuinely think with the losses there,
you have such a hate boner for Lamar. That's all.
No, it's not. It's because the defense isn't going to be the same. The O-line's not going to be the same. Like, they got D. Henry, which is like cool, but I honestly don't believe Derrick Henry's going to have. I don't know. He needs space to go, man. Like, Derrick Henry if he gets touched in the first yard or two, he ain't going. He's not that guy. Once he gets that, like, past that 3-yard mark, sure, yeah, he's a beast. But he needs a sec. He's like a freight train.
This is like a team where it's like, I can't wait to see.
And who do they got at wide receiver? You're telling me Zay Jones is a 1? No. Or not Zay Jones. Zay Flowers.
All right. No, they have Mark
Zay Flowers is a 1.
Isaiah Likely. That's your receiving core.
No.
I like that. For Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield, yeah, that's completely fine.
It ain't fine. That defense ain't going to be good either. Not going to be nearly as good as it was last year. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, I think they're falling a little bit. I don't know about 10, but I think they're falling a little bit from last year.
That's fine.
All right, number 4, we got the Texans.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I was the what do I want to call it? I got all my.
You got him at 2 or some shit.
I got him at 7. K Dog's got him at 4, and
Jeez.
Coop's got him at 5. You're in the middle. So similar, I think. Like we kind of already talked about the Texans. Similar story of the Packers, right? In terms of young team, stud wide receivers, probably the best wide receiver core in the league. I think that's without a doubt. They got Joe Mixon, like solid running back who can catch passes. The defense, I don't know a lot about this defense. Like I know Will Anderson was great for them last year, but beyond that, I don't know a lot of the other names that we would see. Although I think DeMeco Ryans is more of a defense-oriented coach, right? Wasn't he the defensive coordinator for the Niners before he moved over?
Yeah, yep.
So you'd think the defense will be decent. Yeah, I think that's a fair ranking. And then number 3, we got the Lions. So Cooper got him at 4. I have him at 2. K-Dog's got him at 3.
Wow.
And I think what needs to be said more than like what we already have about the Lions. Like they're going to be amazing this year. Gibbs just came out today. He should be good to go.
He's
O-line's
98%.
great. Yeah, so that 2% could really stifle him.
I think the biggest thing for them is their defense. We need to see that be improved. Their offense is spectacular. Love it. But their defense was the thing that held them back,
For sure. The secondary, abysmal. Garbage. Not good. I think they tried to improve it. So that will be the big question mark, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a similar case of the Eagles, I think. Like they got some DBs,
right.
So hopefully they're covering it, but it's, we need game action to see. So,
yeah.
Kid, you got anything on the Lions? You want to add anything or
no? I mean, I think it'll be more of the same. They should have one of the best offenses in the league. Yeah, definitely question marks about the defense, but I just felt it's hard to like, even from just the top 2. To me, there's a decent gap between the top 2 and everybody else, and I guess the Lions proved the most of any of the teams last year to me. To put them at 3.
Yeah, for sure. Coop, how many Aiden Hutchinson, 1 pick, 1 fumble, 1 pick for 1 pick 6, and
I think we'll see
1 touchdown throw? Shmokin Hot Takes are you going for this year?
We'll see at least 2 picks and 2 fumble returns for a touchdown.
Okay, I love it.
Not
right.
2 pick 6s, but 2 picks and 2 fumble returns for a touchdown. So 4 different instances.
Okay.
All right.
All right, number 2. We got the 49ers. I have them at 3. You guys both have them at 2. It's just because I had the Lions a little ahead of them. Big news for them today. Trent Williams signed a new, I think it's an extension to stay on the team, which from my understanding is a huge deal for a huge man. And Brandon Ayuk signed another massive deal, $30 million a year. So they got their full weaponry back. Great defense. Should be poised to make another run at the Super Bowl, much to, I think, all of our dismay. So, K-Dog, you want to add anything with the Niners or feel good about them?
I think that's the right spot for them. I think they're going to be just as, they should be just as good as they were last year. I think the same thing about the number 1 team. So I had to put the Niners at 2.
Fair. Yeah. Lastly, the boogeyman, the Chiefs. We got them at 1. All of us have them at 1. So no surprise there. All right.
Sorry. Couldn't. I just think for the Chiefs, it's almost like they're even scarier this year to me. Because they've only gotten better.
Yeah.
And we just saw them win 2 Super Bowls. So
they actually have some wide receivers now between Rice and Worthy.
It's like I think for me last year was kind of, I feel like they kind of lucked into it, or a great a higher power took over, or Vegas or whatever. I don't think they really necessarily.
You mean Taylor Swift
to win the Super Bowl? I don't know what you just said. Was that a different language?
It was Voldemort.
But I think this year it's even more like, yeah, they should three-peat this year, in my honest opinion. And it's going to be surprising if they don't.
Yeah, defense should be just as good, and their offense got better. Like that's
Yeah.
just the reality of the situation, right? Like, and I honestly I think Pacheco is going to see a lot more work this year too. Like he got involved a lot last year. I think he's still going to still be in there. The fact that they have a really good like top 10 running back with the addition of Rashee Rice, who was nuts at the end of the last season, and then the crowd is still mixed on Worthy, C-Dubs, and I think another one of our friends, Bronco fan 42069, they don't like Worthy. They think he can't run past the line without getting blown up. But we'll see. I'm a little. I think Coop, you and I are a little more similar in terms of our opinions of Worthy. Where I think that you and I think he'll pan out and be pretty okay.
I think so.
But so
yeah.
All right. Next, let's just jump in really quick. We don't have to really deep dive on this. Who do you guys got for like your two teams that are making the Super Bowl this year? K-Dog, you always seem to start. Do you have one for us?
I didn't want to start this one, Coop.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
I want to give this a tiny bit of thought.
So I've been during this whole like the past hour. I don't know how long we've been recording. About maybe an hour or even hour and a half, 2 hours.
A long time, honestly.
3 hours, maybe. I'm lost in this sauce over here. I've been playing around with who I think is going to make the playoffs, and then who I think will be playing each other. And this Shmokin Hot Takes, I think you need to have a little bit of a Shmokin Hot Take for the season. So I got the Chiefs making the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's really hot. Damn.
I know.
I'm sweaty over here now, just hearing that.
So I think the Chiefs. So I kind of have my own ranking. Well, we went through our rankings for these things, and then I kind of put them together throughout the season, and who comes out with the kind of the toughest ranking and easiest rankings. And these two teams have the easiest rankings. That's because one of them's the best team in the league, obviously the Chiefs. But my second team, the NFC team, that I think is going to make it are the Falcons.
Oh, that's hot. All right, there we go.
So that kind of raises the temperature a little bit. The Falcons.
Do we care that Kirk Cousins has never won a playoff game?
I don't. Ooh. But I don't really think about Kirk Cousins because I'm thinking about Michael Penix Jr., baby.
Oh
yeah, you heard about that?
Stop it! Oh my god!
First rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Is that what I just heard? No, I think the Falcons have a very easy path to being the number one seed in the NFC. Their schedule is ridiculously easy after the Chiefs and the Eagles, week 2 and 3. So I don't know. I think this is good. I mean, when have you ever seen the Falcons versus the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Nobody's ever seen that.
I would love that.
I think that's kind of interesting, and I'm taking the Falcons over the Chiefs this year. Give Kirko Chains that Super Bowl ring. Give Michael Penix that Super Bowl ring. I don't know. Let's see it happen. I'm just Shmokin Hot Takes. But I still got the. Are we doing MVPs right now?
Yeah, go for it.
MVP on the season, Patrick Mahomes. This is going to be his best season
of
his career. It's going to be. I know. But he's probably got the best receiving core he's had since Tyreek Hill has been there. And he's only been really better as a quarterback since Tyreek has been gone. I don't know. That's what I got.
So you went cold, extremely hot, back to cold. So
because
you made up for it. That's all right.
I think the 3-peat is a real threat. We've never seen a 3-peat. And I think the Chiefs have a great schedule to do it because they don't really play that great of team. Like their schedule's not that strong. I'm not gonna lie. So I think the threat will be there, but I think the Falcons are going to do something about it.
The scriptwriter would love a 3-peat, man, and national media would love.
And Travis Kelce proposed.
I'm looking ahead. They play each other week 3, so that'll be good. Little Super Bowl preview.
It'd be actually something I haven't done is how often the Super Bowl has been previewed early on. I don't know if that's like a thing, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how often. Probably not very often.
Probably not. Now that I think about it,
Um,
like
Hey,
have
dog,
the
do you want
yeah,
to
go
do you want
ahead.
to jump
sure.
into yours real
I'll
quick?
jump in. I mean, I'm totally with Coop. It's hard not to pick the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. But so I mean, my most likely matchup, honestly, is the Chiefs 49ers. But I know that's boring. So I'll give another matchup as my dark horse matchup. I'm gonna say Lions versus Texans.
Ooh,
You did not just say that. That was mine. No,
Are
I
you
need to
serious?
change.
I like
Yeah, it
that.
was. No, I need to
Uh,
change.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of two teams that could do it, and I feel like those are two teams because I don't feel like a lot, beyond maybe the top 5 teams or so. I don't feel like a lot really have it in them to get to the Super Bowl. I definitely see these teams. If I had to pick a winner, I think I'd go Texans. I think if they got that far, I like CJ Stroud a lot. I think I'd have to go with them.
Dude, you just totally. That was literally my exact teams to make it, and the winner. I was gonna go see Texans and CJ Stroud. That's a bummer. That's okay though.
But we're thinking alike. That could be a sign.
Well, now I feel obligated to give a separate one real quick. I'm gonna stick with the Lions because that's what I've been saying all preseason. But I'm gonna mix in. I'm gonna take a chapter out of C-Dub's book, and I'm gonna put the Bengals to make the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna pick the. I'm gonna
Kitty
pick
Cat
the
Bowl, huh?
in the Cat Bowl. I'm gonna pick the Bengals to win. So
Yeah, I like that. I think if the Bengals get back, they got to win, right?
honestly, a sick AFC championship would be Bengals versus Texans. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen with the Chiefs, but I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, I definitely want
K-Dog,
to see two teams that like haven't been there, or been there in a while.
for sure. Like if the Niners could just totally miss the playoffs, that'd be amazing. That'd be so
Yeah, like
so nice.
Seahawks Texans would be dope. Seahawks
Yeah.
Dolphins, Bengals.
Yeah. Seahawks Patriots would be pretty sweet.
Ooh.
Little throwback to 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake May action. Drake May versus Sam Howell. Ooh.
You mean Jaren Hall or whatever that guy's name is that we just signed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. K-Dog, who's your MVP?
Oh yeah. I think I'd go Mahomes. I think I said that.
No,
You
guys
it.
suck.
It's just. I mean, I know it's the
He's
easy
gonna
choice,
get it
but
this year,
it
man.
just seems. Yeah, it just seems far and ahead. Like that he's the number one candidate.
All right. For my MVP, I'm sticking with who I said in the preseason. I'm going Dak Prescott. Give it to me.
Yeah,
right.
He's a whole offense, dude. He's going to be
I think
just
CD
chucking
Lamb's
it
that
to
offense,
CD.
dog.
Dude, I mean, we're not doing offensive players of the year, but one of you guys got to have CD, right? As your offensive player of the year.
Geno Smith.
Okay, he would be MVP.
I was thinking Rico Dowdle myself.
Okay,
Oh.
we're moving on. This is a meme pod now. All right. Should we jump into our week 1 pick'ems, the thing that people have been waiting for?
I don't think we do.
You don't think so, huh?
I thought we had a little session first.
Oh, okay. Well, is our special guest here?
Is our special guest here? Speak up or hold your tongue.
Hey,
That would have been sick if you like.
it's Broncos fan
Oh!
42069.
Here he is. Hello.
Broncos fan.
Welcome in. You've entered the fire chamber.
Thanks for having me.
He's
Heyo.
back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. The man who needs no introduction. The man who follows a team who we currently have, spoiler alert for you, Broncos fan 42069, ranked as our 29th team in the NFL. How do you feel about that?
I mean, your guys' ranking isn't that far off from ESPN, so that's
Oh, really?
yeah, they the power rankings I think put us around 29, 28, pretty
Okay.
bottom of the barrel. So
Yeah, that's fair though.
yeah, I mean it's it's not an unfair ranking. It's a young team, a lot to prove, a lot
All
of
right, I got a question for you.
interesting things. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, this is like, what's the highest you would put them? What's the lowest you would put them? I think obviously the lowest is 32, but what's the highest you could see them finishing? What's their ceiling this year?
Ceiling. I I think if things go decently well and we get lucky a few times, which I feel like we definitely got pretty lucky in some games last year. I think we can get to maybe 20 or 19 in the league.
Okay.
How
I
about in
at
the division?
in the division, I mean, we'll be better than the Raiders. That is my
Wow.
one.
Oh,
That's kind of
Yeah.
hot.
I don't know about
That's a
that.
that's a
like a
hot homer
shotgun
take.
bet right there.
That
That's a
is, I
shotgun
mean,
bet.
it's a hatred take. It's a factual take. That franchise is so terrible. It's not even funny.
Go off.
It's just been decades of mediocrity and shit since John Madden. And it's also just a death trap for any success. I mean, the only one that's kind of seen it in the past couple of years is Devontae, and let's be honest, their other star wide receiver murdered someone. So it's just not a good town. Henry.
Henry Ruggs, bro.
Oh yeah. No, I know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. Got it. I can
But-
see you guys, honestly, I can see you guys taking one off of both the Raiders and the Chargers.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, unfortunately, the state of that conference is it's the Chiefs and everyone else.
yeah.
I could see you guys taking one off the Chiefs.
No, come on now.
I mean, we beat them last
Did that-
year, and I
I was gonna
did not
say.
expect that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you had Russ then.
That doesn't mean.
I think Bo Nix could play better this year than Russ did last year.
I
That might
think,
be
you
hot.
know, Bo Nix is kind of like that lunch pail type of guy. You know what I mean?
No. He's that kind of guy who's gonna
Doesn't say that too
live.
much.
He's a 10 to 20 yard merchant. He's just gonna live in the middle of the field. You know, he's gonna take his first
You guys
downs when they're
better than
given to
Russ?
him.
Yeah. Quick passive and Sean Payton's love.
High
I mean-
accuracy, little Drew Brees light.
Ah. Okay.
I'm actually very high on Bo Nix. I don't Broncos fan. I don't know if I've told you that, but I honestly, he was one of my favorites
He might have like
of the rookie class.
I think he
Just
refused
because I
to
was
share
in
that
his
information with me.
In his drunken stupor, he was probably like, Bo Nix is actually pretty good.
I've been
You know,
targeting.
I mean,
I've been targeting him in all my dynasty leagues, and people know the
How
word's
many
out.
dynasty leagues you in? We're in
The
the
word's
same amount
out.
of dynasty leagues.
the word's out that I like him, and now the asking price is like 2 firsts. So, you know,
Yo.
that
yeah,
is
I wouldn't take that.
dead
But,
and gone.
I mean, this isn't coming from me. I've heard this before. I can't find the source. It might be Prophet J, but there's a lot of people taking some offensive rookie of the year bets on Bo Nix this season.
Oh.
That didn't come from me, I'll tell you that. But I like it.
I
Wow,
mean,
over Marvin
I
Harrison
don't really get it. I don't really get it, to be honest.
yeah, I mean that's kind of also the question. I mean, Caleb Williams, Rome, there's a lot of talent in this draft, but I don't know.
Don't forget Malik.
I think a lot of people think that aren't just going to immediately trash the Broncos. Think Bo's a good fit for Denver. So
I agree with
Yeah.
that. I agree with that.
I think
All right, let's.
sorry, just a little snippet. You can't say Caleb Williams and Rome in the same sentence as offensive player of the or rookie of the year, just because it's either one or the other, right?
yeah, no, that's fair. But let's not forget that any quarterback that goes to Chicago is cursed.
Facts.
Who knows what will happen with this team this year? I know there's a lot of hype and there's a lot of love and excitement,
That's the Hard Knocks talking right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is.
All right, let's jump in to this weekend's matchup. Broncos fan. The Seattle Seahawks are hosting the Denver Broncos, which is funny because this happened 2 years ago for the season opener as well, in which Russ was sorely defeated in his return to Seattle.
I was going to ask about that. How does that rank among your worst losses you've seen, Broncos fan?
Probably right behind the Super Bowl where they got blown out.
That's true. It's pretty up there. It's just in terms of memory, that was pretty bad. And I wouldn't say it wasn't totally on Russ. It was more on Nathaniel Hackett refusing to stop the clock and opting to go for a really long field goal, and then we miss it and lose. So
that guy was so bad.
I don't understand how you become a NFL head coach and not know clock management 101. Anyway, I don't want to dive into that.
All I'll say about that is you should literally have a guy that all of his job is to research clock management, when things had gone, when's the best time to call timeouts, blah blah blah, statistics. I don't know. Just have one dude. This is hey, call a timeout. You call a timeout because that's his job.
Yeah, I think they actually hired someone to help Nathaniel Hackett manage the clock that season, and it didn't go well. Did not go well.
You probably didn't listen.
So, Broncos fan, first, just right off the rip, who do you got winning this game between the Hawks and the Broncos? Not what your heart wants, what your brain thinks.
My brain would be shocked if the Broncos pull away with a win. I will admit that. My general concern with the Broncos right now, and I feel like not a lot of people that aren't fans would know, is our defense is not what it used to be in any form or sense. It's only really Patrick Surtain back there. I think there's a lot of gaps. Our D-line is inexperienced and not as skillful as it was in the past. We don't really have any stud guys for edge rushing. Average middle linebackers at best. I think the weakness here for Denver is going to be the defense. Offense, I think, is going to be a little bit more fun than it has in the past couple of years. I think there might be a potential just chance for that, but defense, I think, is going to be lacking.
And who's the wide receiver 2 after Sutton? Does a man exist?
I mean, we traded Tim Patrick away.
That's what I'm saying. So who's taking over?
I didn't really get that whole thing because all preseason we were just hyping up him scoring and being healthy again, and then we cut him.
Yeah, I'll look it up. No worries.
I think it honestly it might be Mims.
Wow.
Which he was a return man for you guys last year, wasn't he? Or wasn't he more special teams?
He started special teams, then they figured out that he was just a little fast guy. So I think right now I think technically number 2. I mean, we drafted Troy Franklin, so there's the U of O connection there, but I haven't honestly heard too much about him.
Looks like, according to the depth chart, so we got Sutton at the 1, Mims at 2, Josh Reynolds, who was formerly on the Lions.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Is a 3, and then Troy Franklin's showing to be the wide receiver 3 backup on the depth chart. So
okay,
and then you can't forget Dulcich. Yeah, he.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he'll be a good option. We haven't heard a lot from him this offseason.
I think tight end 1 is technically Troutman, but Dulcich, he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think he has kind of flashes of athleticism, but I mean, most of his 2 years here in Denver has just been on IR trying to get healthy again. So I think this year is definitely a make or break season for him. if he stays healthy and there's a connection with Bo, then I think we'll see the best performance out of him. If not, he gets hurt again, I think he's done so.
What are you making of the running back room?
Pass.
Which is the hot, I think that's everybody's question, right? Through fantasy, the hot mess of, is it Javonte? Is it Jaleel? Is it Estime? Is it, I'm forgetting one. Like Javante's the guy,
we
right?
Cut some up. We cut P Ryan. Javante's the guy. That's his running back room. Jaleel is, are going to be a speed kind of option sort of guy, and then Audric. I mean, I don't know if you've seen a picture of the guy, but he's built like a brick shit house, and it will be a goal line scenario kind of guy. I mean, he's absolutely ginormous. He makes Jonah Coleman for UW look like a small little pipsqueak.
Hey, you don't talk about our running back.
No, I love number one. He's leading me to glory in NCAA dynasty.
Me too, dog. Me too.
But I think there's going to be a definitely scenario-based run game going on this season based off the running back room, which will probably bode well with Bo Nix's general development. If they can take a good load off of him for just offensive potential, then I think less pressure's on his shoulders and he can just kind of focus on the fundamentals and becoming and instilling himself as an NFL quarterback.
I love it. So what I'm hearing on this game is that, and I honestly, this is how I predict the game will go. It's going to be the Broncos run game versus our piss poor run defense. I honestly don't think it'll be that much improved compared to last season. And it's going to be Geno Smith lighting it up through the air to DK and Jigba.
What happens when Sam Howell gets the starting job this year for the Seahawks?
Then we all cry. Man. Then it's going to be like that
then we
would
win
be.
That's what I keep saying that's going to happen. I think it's just a matter of when.
Why is everybody on this? Why is everybody on this? I don't understand.
No.
Because, I mean, regardless of the 20 interceptions he threw at Washington, I mean, he threw a shit ton of yards.
Yes, but Geno
Smith,
there's potential there.
Considerably better.
Yeah. I agree. It's the potential. Like Geno, you know what he is. He's not getting any better. You might as well.
Geno was a top quarterback a year ago, bro. And he was middle of the road.
We didn't
last
lose
year.
any games because of Geno last year. We lost games because our defense was awful and our offensive line was awful.
Dude, K-Dog has been
right now.
K-Dog has been a generational Geno hater.
Because, you know what we're doing? We're letting Sam Howell recover from the PTSD he developed last year, starting 17 games as a rookie behind one of the worst O-lines in the league. And you're actually going to learn behind a competent quarterback in Geno Smith, who has proved that he's actually pretty decent in the last 2 years. Come on. We're not winning the Super Bowl with Sam Howell. We're probably not going to win it with Geno Smith. Why would we throw Sam Howell out there right now just to do even worse?
Geno gives us a way better opportunity at winning the division.
I agree.
But I agree, right? Like, we don't have a great quarterback. I mean, that's a limiting factor.
Take it from a guy who's watched the team defer to the old guy option for 8 years unsuccessfully. It's not sustainable.
Sam Howell is not our future quarterback. I can say that with 99% confidence that he is not the future of this franchise.
Yeah, but didn't the Seahawks make it to a Super Bowl off of a secondhand QB that you didn't think was going to be your franchise QB? In Matt Hasselbeck?
Oh, I was going to say.
I thought you were talking about Russ. It's like, wait.
No. I'm talking about Matt Hasselbeck. All the true Seahawks fans to know his name.
I was about 7 years old when that happened, so I can't really give you a good, a good viewpoint on what I saw then.
Yeah, same. Same. I think I was something like 7.
That is a pretty good comparison, though.
Thank you.
Is it? I mean, look, you give me the ball 60 times in a game, and I could probably throw for 250 yards and have 4 interceptions, just like Sam Howell. So no, I don't think he's the future.
We both know your elbow can't do that.
Ooh,
You don't know my elbow. I had
Mr.
Tommy John.
All right. So are we going to get into our picks for this game?
Yeah, K-Dog, let's start with the non-biased individual here. Well,
honestly,
K-Dog he's a hater, so maybe he is biased.
Honestly, I don't really care much about this game, but I guess I'll go Seahawks just because they're at home. I mean, I think the Seahawks are a pretty solid team. It's just obviously, I'm just not a believer in Geno, which is why I'm down on them in general. But I think they should be able to beat a rookie quarterback week 1. We'll see.
I got the Hawks. No surprise there. Nothing else needs to be said. I think this offense is going to be firing. And you just heard Broncos fan he just threw away his defense into the trash, essentially. No beliefs there. So give me the Hawks. And hopefully our defense looks okay. You know what I'm most curious to see? Honestly most excited to see is Byron Murphy. I hope he just stuffs up that whole line and just, or not stuffs them, blows them up.
Stuff some holes, you know what I mean?
Get me hot.
So I actually think I don't think it's gonna be necessarily easy. I think at least the first half is gonna be I could see it being back and forth, just trying to Mike McDonald implementing his defense in an actual game, making sure everybody's clicking. I don't think it's going to be like smooth to start, and on the same side, on the opposite side, Grubb coming in as a new OC in the NFL. I don't think it's like I think it's going to take a little bit of time for that all to get gelling, but by the time the second half comes around, I think the Seahawks are kind of gonna like start going away with it. Like,
be honest, you can say it. I know what you're going for. You're gonna say not a nice word about the Broncos, and that's fine. I agree.
I don't know, but I think I got the Hawks, but it'll be close up front, and then towards the end of the game, I think the Seahawks will kind of run away with it.
All right, Broncos fan, thank you for joining us. Do you have any last words?
The score is going to be 19-17 Denver, and BK is going to get 20 passing yards because PSG is going to lock them down. There's your hot take.
All right. Here's my projection. I think DK and JSN will both have a tutty this game.
And don't forget K9. K9's definitely getting one. I'm calling he's getting one through the air.
Oh, before Broncos fan leaves, I want to hear what you think the Broncos record will be.
Oh, good call.
At the end of the season.
I forget what Vegas odds put us at for over under.
I thought it was 6.5.
I want to say it was like 5.5. Let me pull up this really quick. Oh, that's Huskies.
So they're set at 5.5 right now. At over under.
I'll be honest. This is going to be a tough game for them. Going to Seattle at home week 1. More veteran team. I mean, new coaching staff, but talent's there. Oh, I forgot we're playing the Steelers week 2. Really? Why does the NFL do this to me? No. I'll go 7.
You know who we play in week 2? Oh, I was going to say we play the Patriots week 2.
Ooh, easy 2-0 for us.
What a start to the season, the Broncos.
Drake May might beat us, honestly.
7-10?
Cool.
7-10.
The Bengals.
I feel like 7-10 gets you third in that division. Yeah? Thoughts? Third?
7-10 for third in the AFC West?
Yeah.
I mean,
get the Chargers 8-9 or 9-8.
I think you guys are gonna be 5-12. I'm gonna give you 5-12 this year.
Nah, I'm gonna go 7. 7 wins. It's written.
All
It's
right,
felt.
Folks, it's written.
Heard it here first. 7 wins. Well, thank you, sir, for joining us today. Your words of wisdom are always
Thank you.
appreciated. And we look
Always a
forward
pleasure.
to we look forward to talking some mad shit when DK stunts on PS2 and takes his ankles.
That's not
And he ain't
happening.
giving them back, bro. He ain't giving them back.
DK is gonna need a walker once he's finishing this game because PS2 is gonna just obliterate him every play.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. All right.
All right, man. Hey, I'll see you. We'll watch some games together this weekend. I'll see
Oh yeah.
you.
It's be excited. It's week 1.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right,
Thank
man.
you.
Peace.
That was our awesome friend and fan of the show, Broncos fan for 2069, who we always appreciate having on.
Absolutely.
Given that lovely breakdown of the
Who
Broncos,
else
and that
is
was
gonna
something
talk about the Broncos, bro?
that's true. And honestly, I didn't really. I mean, I know that the Broncos got rid of a lot of pieces towards the end of last season. I forgot how much they obliterated their own defense. So the offense might be the better part of that team this year, which is scary to say. It's scary to say. All right. Well, fellas, let's blast through these last 15 matchups. I don't know. We've talked a lot about each team, so maybe if you have something that you think like if there's a skill that a team is particularly good at that can take advantage, like that they can use to take advantage of another team, maybe call that out. But
sure,
let's just get through some of these matchups. So first on the docket, well, outside of the Hawks and the Broncos, we have the game on Thursday Night Football. Arrowhead. Chiefs versus the Ravens. The rematch. That was the AFC Championship rematch, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
In which, for some reason, Lamar threw the ball X number of times and it didn't work out. And then the Chiefs went on to win a Super Bowl. Who do you guys got for this one?
That's right.
You go.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, you.
I'm going to go. I got the Chiefs in this one. Because, as you heard earlier, I got the Ravens ranked at 10. I got the Chiefs ranked at 1. It's pretty simple math, people. Add a 0. It only matters in this case. Look, I mean, the Chiefs defense, I think they're going to slobber all over Lamar Jackson because they're just going to be on top of him the entire game.
Slobber
Maybe.
all over the knob,
They might, because they're on top of him on the pile on the ground because he's not going anywhere. And he's not throwing to anybody because I don't think he's a great passer. I still, to this day, believe that. I will be curious to see how much different. I'll be curious to see if they take the same approach. I'm sure they will not. But it'll be curious to see what they change up from the AFC Championship matchup last year. Because, look, I mean, the Chiefs, they only got better, kept a lot of their guys. Ravens lost a lot, like particularly on the O-line and defense. So, it'll be interesting to see what their game plan is. But yeah, give me the Chiefs on this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs too. I mean, I just think, like we talked about, they might be even better this year, and I'm kind of down on the Ravens. But I will say that if the Ravens do win this game, then I'm going to take back everything I said about them being worse. Then I think they're just as good. Like if they come out there, Derrick Henry has a good game, their defense looks good, then they're poised for a big year. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. Cool.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Yeah.
So I think everyone knows I'm kind of the contrarian of the group when it comes to pick'ems. It was actually it's kind of impressive by how little I lost last year's pick'ems. I think I was within like 6 or 8 games, and I had by far the most contrarian picks. And if y'all remember week 1 last year, Thursday Night Football game, where the Chiefs played the Lions. And one of us picked against the Chiefs. And that was me. I picked the Lions. And what did the Lions go out and do in Arrowhead? They beat the Chiefs. And that's what I like the Ravens to do this year. They beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead because they learned their lesson. They go pick up Derrick Henry. They run the fucking ball all game long down their throats that they didn't do in the playoffs. Give me the Ravens, baby.
All right.
I
we should have got
C
C-dubs picks for these. We didn't get C-dubs on this. We should have got it.
That'd be cool.
Well, wait, I know we can't see his pick 'em either, which is a bummer. But that's okay.
I like it.
I like the call. It's fun. I don't think it's going to happen, but I like where you're going with
fine.
this.
Yeah, I think it's like.
What happens if they don't change anything? Like, and what happens if Derrick Henry runs the ball for 13 times and he averages 2.3 yards a carry?
I'm sorry, but you don't go get Derrick Henry in the offseason and not give him the ball 25 times against the Chiefs. You're insane if you don't.
We're going to see Lamar rush over under 10 attempts.
Dog, it's going to be a great game, and I'm excited that this Thursday night football opening.
All right, it is a very great opener. I'm excited.
I think it's almost like it's a toss up in a way because I don't think you could confidently say that the Chiefs are going to beat the Ravens. I mean, it's the Ravens, you know. And I'd rather be on the underdog side of this one.
I feel pretty confident about this. And let me ask a question: are these, so just to clarify, are you guys? These are your pick'ems, right? For our pool?
Yeah, I'm looking
we can't change
right at my pool pick'em.
Okay, cool. I'm locked in too, so I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
All right. Next, down in Brazil, baby, which nobody's happy about. Nobody's happy about this happening down here. Although Friday night football could be fun.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, kind of fun. We got the Packers taking on the stanky Eagles. The Philly smell has moved to Brazil. But yeah, this is another great matchup. Battle of the Green. Battle of.
Hey, let me go ahead and start this one. So, I think everyone's very high on the Packers this year, and they're going to come out and kind of lay an egg. I think Philly's going to say, yeah, I'm with the Eagles on this one. I think Philly's going to say, hey, this is who we are. This is who you saw 2 years ago. Look at me. I'm Kellen Moore. I'm a genius. Devonta Smith, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, a tutty. That's right. Devonta Smith.
You say Devonta Smith 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, that's right. Devonta Smith is top 10 wide receiver this game, baby.
Speak that into my ears, baby.
I don't know. I think everyone's so ready. Like, this is almost like a little brother, big brother game to me. It's like everyone's so ready for that little brother to beat these guys. And I think Philly's going to say, hey, this is who we are. We haven't forgotten who we can be. So,
but imagine the flip side of that for just 1 second. Imagine the Packers coming off the red hot playoff run after dropping a 50 burger on the boys, narrowly losing.
It was 48.
49ers.
Let's keep it at 40.
and then they fly down to Brazil, and they're facing the stanky Eagles, who, you know, everyone's like, Kellen Moore, greatest offensive coordinator in NFL history, and you know, they sense the strife between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, and
it sounds like a hangover from their playoff experience last year to me. And I think the Eagles are only more pissed off at what happened last year.
I think Jordan Love's got a chip on his shoulder because he threw a bad ball down the middle that got picked off to lose the game. So I got the Packers in this one. And I think this is the first game in a long road of sorry defeats for the Eagles that ultimately leads to Nick Sirianni's getting his firing this year. And then if you're calling out touchdowns for the Eagles, let me give a couple golden eggs if you want to use an egg. Jaden Reed, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Aaron Jones.
Is that your Shmokin Hot Take for the week?
Aaron Jones, he's going to get like 12 rushes for 25 yards. He's not going to be good. Do
you say Aaron Jones?
He's on the Vikings now.
Oh, my bad. Josh Jacobs? You're right. Never mind. Flip that around. 25 attempts for 120 yards. Not actually. Look, I like the Packers in this one. Give me the Packers. But I do like Jaden Reed 2 tutties. Bring it on.
I like that.
Yeah, on this one was tough. My first reaction was actually Coop's pick. Basically, was that the Packers were kind of really hot last year and are going to have a letdown. But then I was thinking about it today, and I changed my mind. And I just think that like we put all these storylines as far as like you said, the Eagles are the big brother, the Packers, need to overcome this. But I feel like we're thinking about it too much. If you just look at where were these two teams at last year, the Packers were by far better, and them as the underdogs, it just seems like a good value. We're trying to win this pick'em. This seems like a good valued underdog for me this week.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. I love the underdog.
I like
All right.
that.
Let's go back to domestic land, and we're gonna fly out to Atlanta, where the Steelers are taking on the Atlanta Falcons. It's the Arthur Smith reunion of the Atlanta Falcons, and we'll see what Raheem Morris, Kirko Chains, and everyone's got going on. So,
All right, K-Dog, who you got, buddy?
Yeah, I'm picking another upset here. I got the Steelers.
Whoa!
hold on. I got him too, baby. Give me the Steelers. I got him too.
Wait,
probably
for
for the
real?
same reasons you were going to say, K-Dog.
I mean,
but yeah,
what I was
for
just going to say is that, I do like the Falcons this year. I have them winning the division. I think they're a better team than the Steelers this year. But I think week one, it's a brand new offense. Kirk Cousins hasn't played for 10 months. They're playing a really good defense. I think they're kind of set up to... I'm not expecting much on offense from them in this game. And I think the Steelers are a good enough team where they're going to be able to win this one.
So I think y'all's biggest downfall whenever you're talking about the Falcons is that you're so stuck on Kirk Cousins playing. And I'm in the mindset of that, whether it's Kirko Chains or Michael Penix. I know it's like kind of a meme here, but like I am not afraid if Michael Penix gets in there because I think we've seen what Michael Penix has done with the Dogs. And yeah, we're biased or whatever, but like I think Michael Penix in this offense, it can lead them to great heights just as much as Kirko Chains can. I think Kirko Chains is obviously the better NFL quarterback in this situation. So like I think his offense is going to be so good, regardless of his Kirk's on page with everything or not. Like
it's not just
not
just Kirk though; it's everybody.
No, I understand. But I think their offseason moves for defense has been great too. They've really bolstered their defensive line and secondary. So they're just kind of I don't know. It's just their whole team is a little bit different than what we've seen in the past couple of years. So I don't know why you think there could be some sort of upset here.
I just think the Steelers defense is great. They're going to take advantage of a new offense. I'm aligned with what K-Dog's saying about new offensive coordinator, new coach. Like the defense, the Steelers have been rolling out. It's the same dudes, and they're going to be good.
Okay.
And let's be honest,
their offense is going to be able to keep up, like with the better, like the Falcons' defense has gotten better.
I think the difference between the Falcons offense to the Steelers offense is the same difference as the Steelers defense to the Falcons defense. Like I think there's a pretty large gap in there. So in my opinion, defense tends to win out in those situations. And that's why I like the Steelers in this case.
Well, y'all are wrong. Let's move on.
All right. We're going to Buffalo next, where the Cardinals are visiting the Bills. I think this could be a quick one.
Yeah, I got Bills.
Who do you got, Coop?
I got the Cardinals. Come on now.
I do. I also have the Cardinals, believe it or not. Do you actually?
I do. 29%.
Yeah, according to Sleeper, 29%.
I like them, man.
This is a big gut feeling. I think you and I talked about this a while ago, actually, that we were both kind of feeling the Cardinals. And
I penciled them in a long time ago. I don't know.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. It's a huge gut take. and
Give me
my gut really hasn't failed me too much before. So I don't know.
Yeah, looking
right.
at like. Okay, go ahead.
No, go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say, looking at Vegas odds, I think like the Cardinals were like plus 250 or something. I just think that's a little ridiculous. It's worked its way down to about plus 180, but even
Wow,
then, I don't
that's
know.
a big swing though.
I just think Buffalo is just such a question mark right now with what Josh Allen has on offense. It's all going to be Josh Allen. So if the Cardinals can just do something about that, I think their offense is just enough to overpower the Bills.
This game does feel like it's going to come down to the battle of the offenses. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be.
I don't know much about
defense in this game.
the Bills. Yeah, exactly right. Like, I don't know much about the Bills defense. I'm ignorant in that regard, but I do think that I know the Cardinals defense isn't good, and I think the Cardinals offense is better than the Bills. So never know.
Mhm.
But anyways, quick maths. All right, we got our next matchup on the docket. We got the Bears taking on Coop's Tennessee Titans.
Need I say
And
more?
give me the Bears. I know K-Dog's with me.
Yeah, Bears. Although
Give me
I
the
will
tits,
say,
baby.
You're not actually taking the Titans on this one.
I am. Give me the tits. Let's go.
I did see that the first overall pick as a quarterback hasn't won a game or hasn't won in week 1 since I think 2002. So
Yeah, but something just feels right. Like, the
But-
Bears haven't had a quarterback who's, surpassed X amount of yards,
I mean,
like thrown
the
X amount of
Bears are a much
touchdowns.
better.
Like,
Yeah, the Bears are a much better
Alright.
team than typically a first.
Alright,
they're
so
better
my,
they're better on both sides of the ball. Like, that's just
my
a
Shmokin
reality.
Hot Take. L'Jarius Sneed, 2 interceptions.
Who's Snead? Is he on the Titans now?
That's right, baby.
Oh, I didn't know he left the
Oh.
Chiefs?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, give me the tits. Come on, man. Let's go.
2 picks?
2 picks.
Is that
Give me
actually
2
is that
picks
actually
here.
your smoking hot take?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll
All
take
right,
that.
I like it. All
That
right.
just came to me.
All right, I'm down with that. All right, let's all be unanimous on this next one. Bengals versus the Patriots. 3, 2, 1. Bengals.
Bengals.
Okay, great.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right, this next matchup's kind of interesting, actually. We got the Texans versus the Colts, so AFC South. I think, this. I think there's a lot of question marks about this game because we don't really know about A-Rich and how good he's actually going to be, which leads me to, have some concerns. But I think, in my head, like the Texans should win this. I think they have the all-around better team, better lineup, better quarterback. I mean, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I could see a world with the Colts win, but I agree. I think their defense is good. I think they've steadily improved their defense. Last year they were pretty decent, and then I can only imagine their defense will get better. They got Danielle Hunter over from the Vikings.
Yeah,
During the offseason. I just think that offense is going to be clicking. You got 3 studs at wide receiver. Colts, I am just not high on Anthony Richardson. But I see a world where C-Dubs is right,
Yeah, for this one, for me, I mean, these two teams were pretty even last year, but I just think the the Texans have increased the gap
Freudian
more.
slip there, huh?
No, I think the Texans are the better team. I think they win.
Okay. Next, we got the Florida battle. We got the Jaguars facing the Dolphins at home. Dolphins being at home, I mean. K-Dog, who do you got on this one?
I got the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I think at home,
I do too.
I don't think the Jaguars can really keep up on offense.
I think that's super interesting that you say that. I got the Jaguars here. We saw last year the Dolphins suck against teams over 500, and I think Jacksonville's an over 500 team. They might win the division outright. I think Lawrence has a great year. I think Brian Thomas Jr. addition to the offense is going to be good. Evan Ingram's great. Travis Etienne, Gabe Davis. That's just a very interesting team to be down on, in my opinion. And I don't know. I'm a Tua hater, so that's a part of it too. But I like the Jags as a little sneaky underdog here. Give me the Jags.
You know what I would love for this? Ooh, bringing that back. I would love I want to know if the over/under is on this game because honestly, I would love to smash whatever over is on this one. So I might check that out later. All right, next game, another inter-division matchup. We got the Carolina Panthers taking on the Saints, the New Orleans Saints. I forgot what city they're from. Sorry about that, people. And it's in New Orleans. Now, if you ask C-Dub who he thinks would win this game, I think he would say the Saints because he loves referencing his metric about interdivision matchups in the first, I think he said 4 weeks of the season. The home team wins like some pretty high percentage. I want to say 70% or so. Now, if you ask me, I say throw all those damn metrics away and give me the Carolina Panthers, baby. And this is where I'm going to implement my Shmokin Hot Take. Give me Bryce Young, 4 tutties, over 300 yards. Book it.
Holy smokes. Wow. The Saints are supposed to be actually pretty decent defense. So that's going to be quite amazing to watch. I'm excited. I also have the Carolina Panthers. I don't think anybody's surprised to hear that I'm hateful of the Saints. And I like Carolina to kind of have a decent season in a way. I think a lot of people are low on them. But in a way, I think a lot of people are sneaky high on them. You know, Dave Canales is coming over. I think they've improved the offense around Bryce Young exponentially than it was last year. So I like them to come out and kind of stun some people. Give me the Panthers.
I don't know what's convinced you guys that the Panthers are all of a sudden better than the Saints. I still like all three of you have been saying that. I still think the Panthers suck. I mean, I don't think the Saints are too good either, but I think they're just boring, and I think that makes us think they're worse than they are. Plus, they're at home. I got the Saints in this one.
Well, K-Dog, I want to offer you words of wisdom that my grandfather shared with me back in the day. Yeah. He said, "Son, if you start smelling shit all around you, better start smelling yourself." So,
I don't know what to say.
Just give that some thought.
Yeah, I like that. It makes a lot of sense to me.
All right, we're moving to New York, baby. We got the Vikings. This is kind of a gross matchup. The Vikings taking on the Giants at home. Sleeper's got it at 54% for the Vikings, 46% for the Giants. Sam Darnold leading them, JJ. And what I'm really interested to see is Malik Neighbors in this one. Y'all know I have a soft spot for the Giants in my heart. And I actually kind of don't mind the Giants this year in some games. And this is one of them. I actually kind of like the Giants in this matchup at home. Season opener, Devin Singletary, Malik Neighbors, Daniel Jones leading the way. And that defense, I think, is actually be much improved this season. So give me the Giants.
Bro.
My sub Shmokin Hot Take would be Darnold 3 picks.
Bruh, you named off the New York Giants weapons like they were like Patrick Mahomes, Travis.
I'd be a good salesman for the Giants,
Devin
wouldn't I?
Singletary, Malik Neighbors. Come on, guy. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. You got Aaron Jones on the other side of the ball.
Okay, that's a big who.
A lot of people are kind of high on Sam Darnold. I'm not necessarily one of them, but I think I can be high on him in this game against the Giants. Stanky. This is my. I don't know if I should say it here, but this is my little cute survivor pick'em of the week because I don't like
this one.
I didn't want to use like an easy Seahawks or Bengals pick. I'm using the Vikings right here because this is the only game of the year that they're gonna win, and I'm picking dog shit to beat dog shit in this game. You know, the Giants are so awful that I just think the Vikings are gonna look pretty dang good in this game. When you have Justin Jefferson, my goodness. As your
that guy sounds familiar.
I think you're going to be doing just fine in a matchup like this. But look at the rest of their schedule. It's going to be so hard, man. Give me the Vikings.
I'm taking the Giants. I mean,
I
don't know.
Let's
these
go.
These are two bad teams. I guess I'm just leaning towards the home team. I don't know. Just kind of a gut feeling, I guess. I mean, I could definitely see the Vikings winning. It's hard to choose this one.
My man, K-Dog coming through in the clutch when I needed him most.
I changed my mind on that one. I did have Vikings. I changed my mind today.
I have heard some people refer to Prophet J as Jordan Jefferson before. Just want to clarify that too. Might be a Freudian slip from Coop. All right.
Maybe.
This is where I'm taking one of these teams in my survivor pool. It's the Raiders taking on the Chargers, and it's in LA. I'll be short and sweet on this one. I think the Raiders are a semi-improved team, but I just love the script writers are going to love this game because it's an interdivision matchup. It's Jim Harbaugh's first game back as a head coach in the NFL. And what's Jim Harbaugh good with? He's good at piecing things together, creating a hard running offense with a great defense, and I think the Chargers are going to do that. So give me the Chargers beating the Raiders and letting me survive one more week in the survivor pool.
I'm thinking Chargers this one, just because I don't know, better quarterback, better head coach. I'm picking Chargers.
Man, oh man, I got the Raiders.
Has Coop had one same pick as us this whole this whole day?
I don't know. I think the Raiders are just a more complete team right now. I think it's going to take I think it's going to take a few games to get Harbaugh's philosophy kind of like going in a way. I just like Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, Zamir White, and Gardner Minshew as an offensive unit. We don't really know who the number one wide receiver is in the Chargers. Is that going to be established this game? I doubt it. We're going to see a lot of Ladd McConkey. We're going to see a lot of Palmer, maybe some Chark, Gus Edwards. We'll just have to see what happens, and I just don't think the Chargers are necessarily like ready to go out and have a decisive win just yet. So give me those Raiders.
All right, we're gonna skip this next matchup. We already talked about it. Broncos, Hawks. I think
go Hawks, baby.
All had the Hawks, right? So yeah, nothing more needs to be said about that one. We're moving on to K-Dog's team. K-Dog, we got the boys, the Cowboys, taking on the Cleveland Browns. And we're flying to Cleveland. Kind of a stanky place to have your first game of the season, I should say. K-Dog, who you got? What do you think about this matchup?
I mean, this is a pretty close matchup. I feel like Cleveland is a favorite because they're at home. If it were flipped, Cowboys would be the favorite. Obviously, in a game like this, I'm going to pick the Cowboys. But I see why people are leaning towards the Browns just because of that defense. And then something that the Browns, I mean, they excel in rushing on offense, even without Nick Chubb, with that offensive line. And that's something the Cowboys have struggled with last year. So it seems like a bad matchup. I'm leaning towards the Cowboys, and I think they win if they get some turnovers, make Deshaun Watson make some mistakes.
Oh yeah, you know that'll happen. Coop, who you got on this one?
So I'm kind of surprised by who is being the favorite here. Not gonna lie, I don't know why the Cowboys are like such an underdog. In my opinion, I got the Cowboys. I think they're a much better team as a whole. I understand. I guess maybe I'm just like low on the Browns as a defense. I understand they were good last year, but I don't know. You got Deshaun Watson starting the whole game this year. He's gonna make mistakes against their defense. Both defenses are great, and I think the Cowboys' offense is much better than the Browns. So I don't know why this is such a landslide for the Browns.
I'm kind of surprised.
Boys.
Yeah, boys are they're plus 115 right now. They're in the plus money according to Vegas.
My take of the week.
Smack the shit out of that.
My take of the week. I'm gonna say Zeke is gonna have a 35+ yard touchdown in this game.
Oh, That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Cowboys is like easy money in this game. To me.
I don't think it's easy money, but
Oh, it's easy.
I like the take.
Trust
The
me.
spread's 2.5, so it sounds like Vegas thinks it's gonna be a close game, which I think this will be one of the better. I think it'll be
Deshaun
better.
will have a couple picks. Jerome Ford is going to fumble at least once. CD Lamb, he's going to have 3 tutties.
All right, we'll add all those to your Shmokin Hot Takes. Perfect. I got the boys in this one. I don't think I need to explain anymore on that. We're gonna go next to the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. It's in Tampa, the third Florida team, and I think this is kind of a gross game, if you ask me. But I got the Bucs in this one. I think the Commanders are still going to be kind of just working through things still, right? I mean, with Jay Daniels and crew and Dan Quinn leading his return to being a head coach again. So yeah, give me the Bucs. I think Baker's gonna be cooking on this one. He's gonna be baking.
I'm picking the Commanders this one. For not really any good reason other than I just want to pick an upset here. I don't know. I feel like the Commanders are a little underrated. The Buccaneers are not a great team. They're beatable. So I don't know. Upsets happen, so I'm picking this as one of them.
A blowout or a close game?
I think a close game, but maybe a lot of points though.
I'm with K-Dog here. So I'm picking the Commanders. I agree. I think the Commanders are being a little slept on. I like Jane Daniels and what he can do that offense. He's going to have that rushing element that they haven't seen in a while since, maybe Robert Griffin III. But that offense just be a lot better. Tampa Bay, like you said, beatable. Why not? Give me the Commanders.
All right. And then Sunday Night Football, we got Detroit taking on LA Rams, baby. Honestly, I think this would be a really good matchup. It's in Detroit. Matt Stafford returning home, taking on Jared Goff. Jared Goff is, his former team in the Rams. I like Detroit a lot this year. I got them going to the Super Bowl. So I think they're going to come out hot. Dan Campbell's going to be biting some kneecaps, and I think the Lions are going to take the Rams in this one.
Nice. Playoff matchup right here. I got the Lions. Shout out Lions fan 42069 if you listen this far into the episode. I love you and can't wait to see you soon. I'm playing. Detroit, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Lions. I think they're going to start out hot this year.
All right, final game of the week. We got the 49ers taking on the Jets. I think it's in San Fran. Yep, in San Fran.
Right. Stadium.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers returning over there after his former days at Cal. But
all right, come on.
It's not gonna be a warm welcome home. I think the 49ers are 49ers top team in the league. Yeah, this is
I thought this was Shmokin Hot Takes, not like iceberg conversations over
Okay,
here.
hold on, bro. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 underdogs this week.
So, I don't even want to count mine because I got the Jets, baby. Let's go.
Not if Aaron Rodgers.
Honestly, I've been looking at this game for a long time just because it just stuck out to me, man. I think this is a lot like that Lions-Chiefs game last year. There's just something about it. I like the narrative. Aaron Rodgers coming back after an ACL tear. Either he comes in, tears his ACL again, or he comes in and just balls out. We're going to see what the New York Jets offense can look like with a healthy quarterback that's actually pretty dang good. Garrett Wilson's going to be going off. Breece Hall's going to be going off. Their O-line's very good. Their defense is very good. The 49ers, we know what they can be, but I'm all about the upside of the Jets and all this shit that's been going on with the 49ers over the offseason. Brandon Ayuk, Trent Williams, Ricky Pearsall just got shot in the chest. Jesus
God,
Christ.
we didn't even mention that.
Like, this team is cursed right now. I don't know. I don't think they're going to come out and win this first game. And I think people are going to be like, whoa, the Jets, yeah, they look pretty dang good with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. let's get a little upset here. Give me some Jets.
Dog finishes off, baby.
I really wanted to pick the Jets this game, but I just can't. I think we all think that the Jets are capable of being the 49ers, but at this point, that's just completely theoretical. We haven't actually seen them play like that. So I think it's hard in week one. Maybe if this was midway through the season, maybe the Jets will be there where they can't beat them.
This isn't,
in theory,
yeah,
but
that's
I just
not,
don't see it week one.
This isn't the time to set, if you're midway through the season and we've seen the Jets be pretty good, and you're like, yeah, I think the Jets are gonna win this one because we could see how, like, this is the time to call this shit because you're expecting something out of the Jets. You know how their defense is. Now we just need to see their quarterback. Like, this is the
Well,
time to call something like
I don't
this.
think.
So why wouldn't you? I think that's a little weak, K-Dog. That's all I'm
No,
saying.
well, I don't. I'm not down on the Jets in general. I just think that week one is just 1 week. It's not the story of the season. I expect them to start slow, lose this game, but still have a good season.
I think they start hot, man. After a season like they had last year, like the narrative there is just too palpable for the consumer, man. I don't know. All right, whatever.
Yeah, that's it, man. We got through all the matchups. First week. See how we feel after doing this another 16 times, right?
Yeah,
17 times.
one of us are gonna be having our tail between our legs next week. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, there's a lot of hot ones in this one, so that's good.
I
K-Dog,
do
you didn't give us, before we wrap up though, K-Dog, you didn't give us a Shmokin Hot Take.
No,
What did
it's my Z 35-yard touchdown.
No, he did. What was it?
Ooh.
Did you hear me?
We lost K-Dog.
You didn't hear him? I can hear him.
Oh, I lost you guys.
We can hear you.
Oh, he can't hear us.
Row.
All right. Well, it should have been recorded then.
All right, we're signing off. Prophet Jay's gone, but thank you all for listening to the Shmokin Hot Takes. And remember to like, follow, subscribe, and just keep listening. We're gonna be doing this all season long, and we're excited to share our takes with y'all. We only do this for you guys, well, and for us too, but you keep us going. So we're excited to be back and into the swing of things. K-Dog, you got anything else?
I second that.
All right,
I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, I just did a whole sign off.
It was beautiful.
Well, nothing more needs to be said. We're out of here.
All right, Shmokin.
Shmokin.
Can't wait for football, baby.
Yes, sir. Right. You got all that, Prof?
Oh, I'm stopping.